Everything we see, when you think about it, if you really want to get, you know, into some philosophy, everything you see, every person you talk to, every scenario, every environment, this entire world is in your head. What's up, demons? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a story time for you. It's not necessarily spooky. I don't know if it's spiritual either. I'm not really sure. I'm not quite sure what it is. So let's get the dark part out the way. Yes, I do deal with depression. Yes, I have tried to take my life before in the past, but I'm in a much better place. But yes, I have had thoughts about, you know, the same thing recently, and I've always had this like, oh, I'm too busy to take myself out, I wouldn't do it, I have people I love around me, I just, you know, I would never. But of course the thoughts still come up at times. And so I sometimes self-medicate, and not to the point where it's abusive or out of control. I'm just like a, hey, weed's pretty cool kind of person. And I also think weed is very demonized, especially with the pharmaceutical company, because I've been on antidepressants before. They made me want to take myself out faster. Okay, I've never had that issue with weed, or if you've seen some of my shroom story time, which I don't do often. But that said, I feel like there are a lot of natural methods out there that people kind of demonize because they want to make money off of, you know, pills and this and that and whatever. And instead of having the discussion about drugs and separating what is, I don't want to say good and bad, but what's obviously not, you know, I mean, good and bad. You should have the discussion on what's, you know, the bad, very, very bad type of drugs that you should stay away from to the end of your days on this earth. Like, take it to the grave. You have never tried that. And what are some of the, I don't want to call them good, but some of the drugs that aren't hurting anybody, you know what I mean? And I really believe weed's one of them. So let's get right to it. I had this THC tea that I had gotten from a friend's sibling from an actual dispensary up in DC, and it was the best thing ever. Oh my gosh, it was the best thing ever. I've had edibles, I've had weed, like regular smoking. I've never drank my weed, I've never drank my high. So you get this drink, it's kind of in like a thin bottle, but it's very strong. You get different flavors. I got a half and half, which was a half lemonade, half tea, but you can also get like cherry limeade and all these different flavors. And so I had went ahead and got 2 of them. They tell you that you should drink, like they advise you how much to drink. You get like this little mouthwash cap on top, and you could pour how much you want in there. When I first got these drinks, because we were new to them, we tried out half a cup, and then we were like, you know what, let's go for it, let's go ahead and do a whole cup. And we did a whole cup, and it was a beautiful night. It was me and my friend. We ended up, you know, getting high, calling a ride share, and went to go get Korean barbecue. Oh, that was a beautiful night. The Korean barbecue tasted delicious. High off our asses, just vibing, listening to music in the place, like, oh, unbothered. We had like these guys come up hitting on us and stuff like that when the restaurant closed, and we were just like, it was such a good vibe, us minus the end. But since then I was like, yo, I'm a huge fan of THC tea, or, you know, the ones you can drink. I was in love. I was like, oh my gosh, this is magical. So there was one night where, let's just say in life, things weren't going good. It was pretty dark. My depression was at an all-time high, meaning I was at my all-time low. I was going through a very terrible heartbreak. Very terrible. And I was with somebody who did not care about my mental health. I was like, please, like, just keep me company, come talk to me. They didn't care. They just disappeared on me. This is like somebody who took up a lot of space in my life, and so, you know, I was over here like, there's a whole void now, please help me fill it a little. And they're like, oh. I was having some issues with my best friend as well, just past issues and current issues with myself. And of course I had the regular like, oh my god, I feel like a failure, I'm in my 20s, I don't have anywhere to stay, that's my own apartment, oh my gosh, my bills are crazy, oh my gosh, my car bill's insane. Like, of course the regular like feeling like a failure, not feeling good enough, feeling like nothing mattered, you know, the usual regularly scheduled programming. So things just got really bad and really, really dark. And a lot of things that happened. 2020 was a joke of a simulation, okay? It was a joke. It was like, if we were monsters in our past life, if anything we had done in a past life, it probably resurfaced and punished us this year, because I don't know what went on in 2020, but it was bad. It was bad. A lot of things had happened this year that just, I was like, what did I do? I don't deserve any of this. Not that anybody deserves anything that happens to them, but like, I definitely don't deserve this. And so there was a night where I was very alone. I only had my own demons with me, and not like the cool way I say it for my channel, like, oh, we are our own demons, etc. No, like it was, and so I ended up deciding to take 2 capfuls of the THC tea. Now, mind you, the most I've ever taken was 1 capful, and I was over here like, of course, when it comes to drugs, you don't want to have the wrong mood or mental or mindset. You don't want to be, altering your mindset when you're not already having a good mindset or a healthy mindset or a happy mindset, whatever's going on with you, because you're just going to amplify those feelings and mood, especially if you are that type of person. Like, you're an empath, you're sensitive, and so I took 2 capfuls, going through heartbreak, going through very severe depression, going through questioning myself, going through a lot of terrible emotions. And first I was like, this is great. I ended up like watching porn. I was chilling, I was vibing, I was eating my snacks. I went to go get a bunch of snacks before I got high. I was like, yeah, went to go get a bunch of snacks and stuff like that. And I was like, this is lovely. I was like, I'm high and heartbroken, but you know what? I got porn, I got this, like, life's not that bad. There came a point where those emotions shifted, for sure, and they went from like happy, horny feelings to like sad, somber ones. And I don't know where the shift came. It felt like I was high for a good minute. It felt like this took forever. Like, I was just shook. I felt like it had been 2 days. That's how long it felt. I felt like I was high for 2 days. But there was a point where the depressive feelings I was already having, like whether I was having a depressive episode or a panic attack or both, a good little combo of both, I don't know, but they intensified so much that I just found myself sitting in my room quietly crying, having a terrible breakdown. And that's nothing new. The breakdown part's nothing new, but what had scared me was that it got to those type of thoughts. And I do this thing, and I actually learned, like, apparently in psychology it's like a whole thing, but before I even learned about it I was doing it. I do this thing where I will give myself a hug, and if I'm not feeling well, I will like look at myself in the mirror, and it might seem weird to you, but trust me, like, it really helps. I'll look at myself in the mirror, I will give myself words of reassurance. I'll be like, you're good, baby girl, you got this, you're gonna be great. Like, I will literally talk to myself in the mirror to hype myself up and try to help myself heal. Like, and I read somewhere, I saw it on TikTok or wherever, and somebody's like, yeah, in psychology you're actually helping your inner child, and you're hugging your inner child, you're telling them it's gonna be okay. I was like, I didn't know all that. I was just giving myself a hug and like hyping myself up. But okay, it's good to know like there's something, deeper behind that. So I found myself giving and remember where my headspace is at. Like, my headspace, like death, darkness, doom, like that's where my head was at, and I'm high on top of that. I ended up giving myself a hug, and I had music playing, and I will never ever hear this song again the same. Blessings by Chance the Rapper was playing, and I was just hugging myself and holding myself like, you're good, the heartbreak is gonna pass, the feeling like a failure is gonna pass, you're gonna be successful, you're gonna be good. And then I felt myself rocking, and so I'm hugging myself and rocking, and then I felt my hands like clenching on for dear life onto myself, and I felt like I was pushing myself in and squeezing myself until I couldn't breathe. Like, I think I was having a panic attack. I'm pretty sure I was having a panic attack, actually. But I was holding myself in and just shaking and trembling. And I was just listening to the music, and I was just like, are you ready? And it was just going. And it got to the part where it was like, are you ready for your blessing? Mind my singing, I can't sing, but y'all know what I mean. So it got to that part, and I was just holding myself rocking. I was like, are you ready? It's already a powerful song, so it already evokes a lot of emotion, especially when you're high, but it was worse. Are you ready for your miracle? And I just felt I was just rocking, and the rocking got heavier and deeper, and I was just holding myself. It was the weirdest thing. So I had started to imagine what life would be like if I was gone. It was so surreal. It was like I was laying in bed at one point before I started the rocking. I was laying in bed, I wasn't feeling well, And I was laying so still that for a moment I really thought I was dead. I was just like, am I? I had the strangest sensation of like, okay, what if I was actually gone? I was laying so still because the THC drink had like just, it grounded me. It froze me. If this was a Pokemon battle, I was completely paralyzed. Like I could not. I was struggling. I was just laying there like, I don't know if my eyes are open or closed, probably a mix of both. And I was just laying there like, and so I started to like imagine. I went so still that I had to question if like I was still there. I felt like I was on some Full Metal Alchemist, like, you know, the part where Alphonse and Ed be like playing around in the mind world and the spiritual world or whatever it is, that mix of nothingness and everything, and like in that world. And it was just like, remember when they went to go get Alphonse, his actual, like his real body or his spirit to put back into his real body or whatever was going on in that plot? I forgot, it's been a minute since I've watched Full Metal, but remember when he was just in that world, just existing and nothing else was there? There were points where I felt like my room, like, I don't know what was going on in my head, but my room, like I was just laying there. I felt so still. And my room felt like Alphonse in that giant universe. And I felt like there was no, like my bedroom wasn't connected to a house. It wasn't connected to a neighborhood, nothing like that. It was just my bedroom floating in space, like in mental space. I was stuck in this box in this room and I was just laying there, and outside of my bedroom walls was just nothingness. Like that's what I was envisioning and seeing. It was the strangest thing. And so I had a moment where I was just laying there, and it lasted for a good minute actually. And I just had this like, what if I wasn't here? And I don't know if it was like just visualizations, heavy visualizations, or just a crazy ass imagination that was high, but I had actually imagined like my family coming to find me and me laying there, but I wasn't actually alive. And it was the scariest, spookiest, craziest thing, because I felt like it felt so real, like an alternate dimension, like, hey, if you would have taken this route, this is what would have happened. And I just heard screams and panic and chaos, and of course there's just terror. It was just terror, uncomfortable terror of what could have been or what might have happened. And of course that wasn't the case. Like that wasn't any type of attempt. I was just like, I'm gonna get really high tonight and be in my feelings. Like there was no sort of like attempt that night. I was not feeling well, but I wasn't at the point where I was like, all right, we're doing it. This is like, no, absolutely not. So it was so strange to like envision that, and like it was weird. Like I felt like I was playing a movie in my own head of what could have happened, because I was staying that still. I was like, my body was just like, I felt stuck. I felt so stuck. And I just imagined like, okay, they're finding you. Oh my God, they're screaming. Mom's screaming. Dad's like, everyone's panicking. Oh my God, they're realizing what happened. And I had to get up from that. That's when I started holding myself and kind of like hitting that panic attack, because I had to actually get up from that, because those images were so strong and like really shook me to my core. And to this day, I think it really affected me. I was like, yo, that's not an option. That's not an option. I was having such awakenings during this high. I was like, yo, my body's just a vessel for whatever life this is on this floating rock in the middle of whatever that's probably made up in my own head. I was like, my body's just a vessel. I'm a soul. I'm a spirit. Like I'm more than just the vessel, and I'm not ready to take, I can't ever be ready to take this vessel out of this universe early, because there's so much more exploring to do. There's so many memories to be had. There's so much more beautiful things in this life to stick around for. And I was having all those like visions and everything in that moment, that when I got up and I was like, okay, I need to hold myself because this is getting a little intense. It felt like it should have been a trip. I'm surprised I was high. It felt like I was tripping or something. But so after that had happened and I envisioned that moment of like, oh my God, what could have been, like Bioshock vibes with the lighthouses, like, oh, here's where your life split, and if you would have did that thing, this is what it would have looked like. This is like, you know. And it was like I was there seeing it, but I was just literally laying in bed like unable to move, like yeah, that does look pretty bad. And so I had ended up getting up. I was still sitting in my bed, and I got up and I just started, you know, holding myself. So I had Blessings playing in the background and I started rocking. I was holding myself so tight, right? I felt like I was crushing myself inward. Like, I don't know. I just felt like I was getting smaller. And so I was hugging myself, rocking back and forth, listening to the song, just listening. Are you ready for your blessing? And it just kept playing over and over, and I was rocking, and I'm pretty sure it was a panic attack. I'm over here like this deep philosophical thing happened to me. No, sweetie, you probably had a panic attack. But that said, I do believe that there are things like out there in the world that are greater than us that we would never know, and there are probably ways to get in touch with those things. I don't want to. I'm good. I'm okay with my ignorance. But that said, this whole incident definitely spooked me, but not in a bad way. It was like, it was really in a spiritual, positive way, believe it or not. So tell me why, when I was rocking and I was like facing off the edge of the bed, and so I'm rocking and I'm holding myself and I'm pushing myself in like I'm crushing myself, and it just started, it hit that oh, y'all gotta listen to that song if you know what song I'm talking about. It's just like, are you ready for your miracle? And it just, high music already hits different when you're on drugs, but like hearing it, it was like a bullet to the head, bullet to the heart. Like it shook me to my core hearing it. And so I'm holding myself and I had like bowed my head, and I'm not religious. I would consider myself more spiritual, but at that moment I was ready to like believe in a God. And even that said, I'm not gonna get too much into this, because you could be like, okay, even though you're not religious, like a God could still be energy, a God could be this. If you're spiritual, I understand that. I completely understand that, and that's more what I lean towards, like just energy. But I was holding myself and I had my head like bowed, like I was praying almost, and I was shaking. And it kept saying, are you ready for your blessings? Are you ready for your miracle? And I opened my eyes and I like looked up, and y'all, I kid you not, there was like this grayish white, not pure white, it was like a blur of a figure standing in front of me. Not directly, not physical. It wasn't like, oh, somebody's in my room. It was like just like something, just a force was in front of me. I didn't know what it was. I wanted to be scared by it, but I was also like enticed by it and spooked by it at the same time. But it didn't feel like an evil or malicious force. It just felt like a force. And it felt like they had grabbed the sides of my head to hold me too. And the song's still playing, like, are you ready for, oh my God, this is like probably the spookiest thing that's ever happened to me. So they're holding the sides of my head and the song's just going, are you ready for your blessing? Are you ready for your miracle? I'm still holding myself and I'm just like shaking my head like yes, I'm ready. And the weirdest thing started happening where I like just got to thinking, and I was like, am I ready for my blessing or miracle? And I was like thinking, hey, that means relief in life, like everything you ever wanted, like all your dreams coming true, you don't have to worry about anything anymore, like you're good, baby girl, your blessings are coming, you're ready, like this is your moment, everything you've been working for is finally here. I was thinking like that, but then like the dark part of my head was like, well, do you mean like blessing, miracle as in relief? What kind of blessing are you talking about? Are you saying, are you ready for your blessing, miracle, like you're ready to leave this earth, like you're ready to dip, like, you know, is your blessing somewhere else in a different universe? Like, so I was shaking my head, yes, like, yeah, bring the blessings on, let's do this, like, yes, give me, you know, happiness, give me a sane peace of mind, give me enough money to survive, you know, give me the business, give me the glow up, give me all the things I've been working for. And then I started shaking my head no, because I was like, what kind of blessing are we talking about? Like, are we talking about on this earth, or are we talking about something like deeper? Like, and I don't want to say, okay, leaving earth's a blessing, but it was just weird. Like I couldn't really interpret, you know, the song anymore, because I was like, what type of miracles and blessing are we talking about? Like, is it the type of thing where, you know, oh, I'll grant your 3 wishes, but it comes with some type of like catch that comes back to bite you in the ass? Like, I felt like that. So here I am shaking my head yes and like holding on to myself, but then I started shaking my head no at the same time. So I'm hitting one of these hitting one of these while whatever's in front of me is in front of me, and I'm just like, oh no, man, I'm not sure. It was the weirdest thing. At the moment, it was so like, ooh, like shivers, goosebumps, chills. That is where chills comes from. And I just felt myself like, I don't know, I'm not sure, I don't know. We can eat wherever you want to eat. Like, I was so indecisive at that moment. And because I didn't know, I couldn't interpret, like, okay, do you mean like good blessings, like good things are coming, or do you mean like, you know, maybe what I would have thought was a blessing in disguise, or what some people who are going through severe depression and having suicidal thoughts might have thought was a blessing in disguise by finding that temporary relief? Like, what is the blessing we're talking about? And so I just found myself there like, I don't know, it's up to you, like you could decide, you could figure it out. And it was the spookiest, like, oh my gosh, to this day, it wasn't spooky like scary though, that's the thing. It was just like, it was different, but I wasn't scared by it. It was like a kindred spirit had come to be like, yo, get back to work. stop goofing off. You got work to do. You're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna pass. And so I slowly came out. It had to be a panic attack combined with like some spiritual elements. I slowly came out of it where I was like letting go. That was like the first thing. I was like letting go of myself. Like, you know, okay, stop squeezing the life out of yourself. And then I started to finally breathe again. And I feel like whatever force was in front of me like vanished. Not like a poof, but it was like a slowly fading away into the distance. So I pulled myself out of it. I started breathing, and then I just sat in my room in shock because I was like, what's that? I kid you not, you cannot make this up. Like, I was just over here like, all right, so I'm gonna go up to my friend's house for a little bit because I'm not about to stay in this room. I don't know what had happened, but it was like a part of me had really, really died that night. I saw what it would have been like if I did in this physical realm and how my family would have reacted upon finding my body. And then I just had the second chance of life because I didn't really do anything. Like, it's not like I didn't go into that night like thinking about overdosing or anything. I didn't do anything. I was just high off of weed. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna pop these pills. Like, I was just chilling. Yeah, I was depressed. Yeah, my thoughts were really dark, but I had done nothing that night to like be like, oh, I'm gonna initiate an attempt. I was just chilling. I was like, all right, I'm just minding my business. I'm gonna get hella high, and that is what happened. So I definitely believe there are other things out there aside from us. I feel like it's very naive to think we're the only species out here, whether that's in this realm or other universes or whatever it might be. I'm not gonna delve into, you know, the depths of it because I'm not ready to deep dive into there. But that said, it was, like I said, it wasn't scary. I've had like scary energies around me before. I used to work in this group home, right? And not to turn this into like a spooky story, but I was in this group home. I was taking care of 4 grown men. I was working by myself. I was on the night shift, and their ages ranged from like 20 to like 60 or 70. Like I said, I was the only one there. And so when everyone was asleep, I'd be upstairs because that's where like the worker area was, where all the paperwork was, the medicine cabinet and stuff, of course locked up. There was a big beanbag, there was a TV, and so I would just chill upstairs because everybody else's bedrooms were downstairs. I remember one night, this is just a quick side note because like I said, the energy wasn't scary that night. From this story I just told you, there wasn't like a scary or spooky energy. It was just present. It was just there. It was kind of like blurry. But when I was working in this home, so I was upstairs one night, and I'm not gonna lie, I dozed off, as many, you know, medical workers do. You're not supposed to. It was an accident. I didn't mean to, but I was really tired and everybody fell asleep. For the record, I always take really good care of my clients. They tend to favorite me, which I love. So don't be like, oh my God, she was in a group home neglecting people. No, like, no, I take really, really good care of my people. I treat them like family. But yes, I had accidentally fallen asleep. And so I dozed off and I woke up. I don't know if I had a bad dream before this. I can't remember too much, but I woke up and it felt like I could see the room, the same room I was in, the same exact room. It felt like I could see the room, and there was this like tall, shadowy, like Slender Man character. And I don't know how it worked because I was sleeping on the beanbag, but they had grabbed me. Like, they had grabbed me by my neck and like put me in the air like anime chokehold style. But I was watching from my spot in the beanbag, like still asleep. I don't know, but still asleep, watching that happen in the corner of the room. Like a whole other character and myself, like shadow people. Have y'all played that one Mario game? What was that game? Mario Sunshine or something? And they were like on an island, and he had that like jet thing, and he could shoo, shoo. He was always doing that. And then there was like a shadow Mario that would go and like paint the town dark and stuff like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about? If you don't, all right, whatever. But if you do, it was like that. It was just like something out of like a shadow world, and I was seeing this Slender Man character have me up like, I don't know if it was me or somebody else. I mean, I couldn't really make out. It wasn't like I saw myself clearly, but they were holding somebody up in the air and like choking them and holding them up. And I don't know if I was awake or not already. It was a weird, hazy dream state. I know for a fact I did not dream it because I could feel the room around me. I could see the same room I was in. But then it was like I like shook kind of, or like kind of, I don't want to say, I mean, I guess woke up. I already felt like I was awake, but I guess you know, woke up again and nothing was there. And of course, immediately I turned on all the lights. I sleep with a nightlight for a reason. I don't care. Like, y'all too naive. My brain be conjuring up stuff, but also I believe there is stuff out there. And it scared the shit out of me. And I ended up having problems with that group home. It was an issue of neglect, not on my behalf, but like one of my clients had fell really hard and hit his face and ended up bleeding. And I was like, yo, he needs medical attention. What's good? And nobody came out to help him. And my heart was hurting so bad during that time because he really needed medical care, and they just sent him to day support like the next day, and he didn't get no type of care. And he was like an older, like 60-year-old, I can't tell his business because of like, you know, HIPAA, but like he was an older 60-year-old man. And you know, I can't go too much into detail, but that was heartbreaking. And so I ended up quitting that job for a variety of reasons, because neglect, you know, not even caring about your clients. I'm here, I'm highly liable, I'm one little 20-year-old something female taking care of 4 men. I have no type of, y'all have shown me I have no type of backup if something happens. I was like, I don't need something happening on my behalf. Y'all should have 2 people here. You know, there's too much going on. You got people who run out the building. Y'all got so much stuff going on. Y'all are not taking the lives of these people seriously. So I ended up quitting. Tell me why, like the day before I quit, one of the girls told me, oh yeah, you know, that's wild because there was another girl here who worked here. She had somebody die on her shift. He ended up passing away, and the girl who worked there told me that it was also due to neglect, and they like did not send anybody out. Like something had happened, some type of incident, and they didn't send anybody out, or they had sent somebody out too late. Regardless, I was like, oh, do say, well, I'm gonna get the hell out of here because I'm spooked. I don't know if that was whatever I saw, and now that scared the shit out of me. That was real life. / dream world, spirit world, whatever. And that I could tell was a very evil, dark spirit. Whoever was doing the choking, like, that was a very dark spirit. There was something going on in that spot. And y'all can't be naive. There's more out here in this world. Just don't go tampering with it if it scares you. You know, I'm gonna stay far away from it. That said, in comparison, whatever had happened the night I was high and depressed, that spirit or whatever, that energy was definitely not bad energy. It felt very neutral, but it was still very shocking to see because I was just like, what? It got me asking so many questions about myself and this world and the realm we live in, our physical bodies, our vessels, you know, versus our mind. Everything we see, when you think about it, if you really want to get, you know, into some philosophy, everything you see, every person you talk to, every scenario, every environment, this entire world is in your head. Everything is through your vision, through your perception. If you die, if your brain is no longer functioning, you as a person lose everything in this world. At least that's what, you know, that's what you can assume. Everything in this world's gone. And you go wherever you go. Maybe you come back to this world in a different form. Maybe you walk these earths or whatever. I don't know. It can be assumed. That if you were to die, you're not going to see anything from this world. That said, that could be completely untrue too. But whatever you're seeing, whatever's housed up here, it's through you. It's through what you're seeing with your eyes. It's through what your brain's telling you. Your brain's giving you all these images. So it makes you question, like, okay, where does the soul and spirit come in regards to like the brain? And the brain's basically my big power plug. But if there's something deeper, and I'm a soul and I'm a spirit, where is that housed in my brain that when my brain gets powered off, my soul and spirit's like, all right, bye, you know, physical body gone, physical vessel out of here, and goes where? Where does it go? We're on some Avatar spirit world right now. That said, I'm not gonna get too deep. Some of y'all might think I sound very smart. Some of y'all might think I sound stupid as hell. But that was just my personal story time. It did not scare me. It definitely gave me a new perspective to life, especially being severely depressed and having struggled with like those type of thoughts before. It made me realize that this life, in a weird way, is just an adventure. It made me realize I gotta stop taking it seriously. Take it seriously enough to survive and make whatever money I need to make. Aside from that, I'm here to just enjoy. We don't know what the hell this world is. Is this the afterlife? Is this a prequel to the life we're actually gonna live? Is this some type of life based off previous lives? We don't know what this world is. We're just here. we're here. We can have assumptions about what comes afterwards, or what came before us and where we came from, but right now we're just here. And it made me realize it's just time to sit back and enjoy. Survive and thrive. Do whatever I gotta do, you know, to exist and make my money and meet my basic needs and take care of the people I want to and live my life and all that good stuff, and enjoy. Take it all in. Make great connections with people. Go on adventures. Live your life. Taste your favorite foods. Take the pictures you want to take. Go create art. Go save lives. Go make a difference in the world. Whatever you want to do. This world is your play park. You don't know what the hell this world is, but it's your play park. I realized I'm not gonna take myself out of it. Not ever. Not ever. This is I'm considering it a big joke. It's just a joke of a play. Maybe we're all in spiritual daycare right now. This is just some kind of weird pit stop and we get to do whatever we want. Here we are taking life seriously. Yeah, of course life gets serious. And it hurts and it sucks. And so many bad, evil things happen. But you know what? I'm gonna keep looking out for the great ones. So yeah. That's all. Thank you all so much for watching. That is my story time. That said, I'm chilling now. I'm feeling pretty fucking great. I have looked at life in such a different perspective ever since that has happened, and I have actually been being more productive, more successful, and less depressed. So that's good. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, all of my motherfucking monsters. And if you like this video, subscribe, show some love. Let me know that you're vibing with the content, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.